Hi, welcome to another lesson on adding notes to the right hand. This one, we're going to choose a song, Work with Blue Skies, and it's in the key of G. So a nice tune, I think, from the Great American Songbook. If you look on your sheet music, the additional notes in the right hand are not found until page 2. Prior to that, we keep a single note melody. But a little plus on this song is that you get some chromatic movement in the left hand chords, which sounds really pretty, and this song lends itself to that. But first, let's go into page 2, and on the third line, on the third measure, page 2, you'll see an E minor chord, and up above, then B plus, that's B augmented, and that is where your right hand notes start filling in. And I'll explain how we did that, but let's go back to the beginning. And first I'm just going to play the first 4 or 5 lines with a single note melody, just to review the tune. Okay, so there you have it. Now the left-hand chord, E minor, begins on a minor. So root position for E minor, E, G, B. The next measure, B plus, that means augmented. So for that, just move the little finger down 1/2 step to D sharp. Next measure, 1/2 step down to the D note, takes you to G major. Then line 2, go another 1/2 step down with your 5th finger, little finger, move a 1/2 step to C sharp. So there's that chromatic movement, 1/2 step at a time. Go back to line 1, we'll do it again. E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, step down, 2, 3, 4, down again, low note, 2, 3, 4, down again, 2, 3, 4. So that is an A9, a variation of A7. Line 2, the second measure, a G chord. So we want to play that G that we had in the first one, second inversion, which is D, G, B. Okay. The next measure, C9, that's a variation on C7. So we keep the D, the 5th finger on D, and bring in an E and then a B flat. Like that. G chord, keep the D, move to E and B flat. And there's a modern chord, D, E, B flat, C9. Back to your G. Okay, now we're on the third line, of course. You go over to the third measure, there's E minor, B plus, or B augmented. So we do like we did at the beginning. 2, 3. Move the little finger down, 5th finger a 1/2 step to D sharp. There's your B augmented. Next line, go a 1/2 step down again, there's G, and then move down again, C sharp for that A9. Moving into back to the G chord, still D, G, and B notes. Then a D major chord, and then next line brings you to G. So up to the top now, hands together, move down, down, G chord, C9, G chord. Start on E minor again, drop down 1/2 step, little finger down again, now we come to the next section, B section of the song. So we have a G chord and then C minor. You noticed I put a C minor equals the interval. Remember, long time ago we talked about, you learned intervals before chords. So here we'll use an interval from a G chord, go to E flat and G, just those 2 notes, and that's a C minor interval. So that goes back and forth for a couple measures. 1, 2, 3 measures here, 4 measures. G, C minor, the interval, C minor, D chord. To the top of the next page, we go to our E minor progression again. Moving down by half steps, chromatic means half steps. G, move down again, half step is all. And here we are taken now to the section where we're adding notes to the right hand. So if you look on that, I'm on the third line, the second measure in the right hand. The top note here is a B. I added below it a G and an E. How did I know to do it? One other way is to look at my chord, E, G, B, E minor. My melody on top is E. So going down from that B in the right hand, I look for notes that I found in my chord. Well, A is not, but G is, so I could add that. F or F sharp's not in the chord, but E is. So that's how I knew I could add E, G, and B there. So, like so. Now, here again, on the next line, fourth line, page 2, I have a B note on the top, but my chord is G. So going down from B in the right hand, A is not in the chord, but G is. I can add that. And keep going down. F sharp, no. E, no. But D is. So I can add that. And there's my 3 notes in the right hand. Okay, then my A9 chord. At full right hand on that B note again. Now on this measure, my melody note is F sharp. The chord is B. D sharp, F sharp, B. So looking below F sharp, okay, E's not in the chord, but D sharp is. So I can add that. E minor, and we already know we can add those 2. And this chord progression is the same as it was at the beginning, but I'm being a little more emphatic when I change measures. I just hit the whole chord again, moving down always to that new note that makes the new chord. So let me do that section again, please. We're still on page 2. We'll go back to the third line on second measure where my chord is E minor, my right hand notes. Where it's convenient, like I don't add on E because there's not room to add below, but because B is up higher, I can add more notes to that. And those notes are found in the left-hand chord. And here, I hit each chord distinctly, just for a kind of a more dramatic effect. Whereas on page 1, I just kind of held on to them a little more and just dropped down and let it go like that. But either way, whether you play the whole chord or just drop down with the low note, either way is fine. So page 2, line 3, second measure, and here this section I will have some full notes, a full right hand in places where it works. We're going to do that one more time, starting third line, second measure. I think I made a little mistake on that one, but let me do it again. E minor, drop down high half steps. So there's a repeat sign. It takes me back to page 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth line, there's a repeat sign. So I'll do that part. Never saw the sun. I'll go to the second ending, and a few little notes up high, starting with C, little echo. So enjoy this, take your time with it. Right hand alone, get familiar with the tune, practice the chords, get familiar with that progression starting on E minor, where you keep moving the half note or the half step down on the low note. It sounds so pretty. And then when you get into page 2, you can add the extra notes in the right hand. On the B section, that part where it goes, never saw the sun, you can use different positions of the chord. You're not limited to just that chord in an interval. If you play the G chord here, root position in C minor, that works too. Whatever works there is great. So enjoy the song, have fun, take care. See you later.